Welcome to the latest and greatest Sarasota real estate market update. We're going to be going over the 5 key metrics we always track. I've been doing these updates for a couple of years at this point, so you can kind of see what's going on in the market over time. Now we're going to be comparing everything that happened in the month of May compared to the month of June. Currently we're at the end of July 2025, so let's get right into it. We want to start off with the total closed sales. Now in May, we had 2,181 sales. What happened in June? Well, unfortunately, we went down to 1,927, which represents an 11.6% decrease. This is one of the biggest decreases I have seen ever. So I'm telling you, our number of sales are going down. There's just less buyers out there. What does that mean if you are a seller? Basically, that means that you have a harder time than you did a month before. That's it. Now, are we going to have more sales in July? I don't know, we might. But overall, this is a bad statistic for the market. This is the lowest number that I have seen. Now, our second metric is the median sales price. This is what everybody always asks about. They say, hey, are prices going up or prices going down? Well, take a look. Single family homes, both Sarasota and Manatee County, went down, and condos went up for Sarasota. And really no change in Manatee County for condos. Now, does that mean that we are at bottoms? I don't know. I don't have that magic lamp, so I can't ask Aladdin. But we are down from all-time highs, right around 10 to 15%, depending on what you're looking at. And do I think that we're gonna go down a little bit more? Well, I actually do. And the reason I think that is because I don't think we're going to have rate cuts in 2025. I think rate cuts are going to come in the second half of 2026. And when that happens, that's when all the inventory is going to stop increasing and the sales are probably going to start going up. In the meantime, it's just going to be like a, teeter-totter going back and forth. That's just my best guess. So let's get into our third metric, which is the inventory months of supply. Here's what this means. If we take all the buyers that are out there buying in the market, and then we stop all the new listings, we just sell off everything that's on the market, how long will it take for everything to disappear and get sold? Well, here's how long it's going to take. Look at this chart. Surprisingly, we are showing that it's going to take less time, but we always want to look at that 5.5 to 6.0 months of inventory. What this means is that it's an equilibrium market. Now, looking at the chart, you can see 6.3 months, that's a buyer's market, 8.3 buyer's markets, 5.2. Now, finally, the Manatee single family homes are in a seller's market. And then the Manatee condos being 7.4 months, which is once again a buyer's market. Now, this is a pretty good statistic right here. And frankly, I was really surprised to see this. So good job, Sarasota. All right, our fourth metric is the days from the time that you list your property to the time that you go under contract. Now, listen, if you're looking at all the homes for sale out there, you're always going to look at the ADOM, which is the active days on market. You want to take this number, and if it is below or above what I'm about to show you, that's going to show you, is it something that can get a little more negotiation. So here is the chart. In June, we went from 51 to 60 days in Sarasota County. Obviously, everything on this chart is looking a lot worse. Condos, however, for Sarasota, it's looking really bad. 22% longer sitting on the market. And listen, we are no longer in the good old days where houses would sit for literally 3 days on the market. That was in the COVID peak. Right now, we are years past that, and we are starting to approach numbers that are soon going to be triple digits. Now, we're still in the double digits, but I'm telling you, we're probably going to see 100 days or more, I would guess, by November. And the main reason is because the number of sales just keep going down. That's the real problem. And quite frankly, the other problem is that the reason things aren't selling is because they are too expensive. That's basically why things don't sell. So let's go into our last metric number 5, which is the total active listings at the end of the month. And here's what happened. In May, we had 11,580, and in June, we had 11,003. That's 4.9% less. So I'm really happy about that. And you're wondering, wait a minute, if we had less sales and we have a lot less listings. How does that happen? Here's how it happens. When people pull their listing. Flat answer, easy. If people who are listed on the market pull their listing, or the other way is if sellers don't list, if people who are thinking about selling decide not to sell because they see the real value of their home, well, that's how. We basically sold a little less than 2,000 homes, and we have a little more than 500 less on the market. This is a good sign indeed. This is what every seller wants to see. They want to see less competition so that their home is going to be one of the few from their selection. But that's it. If you want to talk about real estate, or you want to look at real estate, or get a estimate on the value of your home, give me a call. By the way, I'm also a roofer. I have a roofing company, so I can give you estimates on any roofing products you need. Give me a call, 941-888-SOLD. My name is Maciek Zaremba. I've been a licensed agent since 2004 in Sarasota. Give me a call. I'm with Fathom Realty. I'll see you on the next one.